Ronin thing with 82 months. How you doing, T? How the holidays been? You know, holidays. Oh god, happy hour. Oh god, did I keep fish yesterday? I did. It's starting out at night, the worst. Sorry, I'm gonna be like a little quiet because I'm afraid my house is loaded with people right now. So I'm afraid of waking them up. I want to try one of these deeper ones. That hook is way too big. Whatever. Happy lure year. That works. I'm here for it. Yeah, I can't stream too long, so I figured I'd just get on and fish for a little bit. I had shit I needed to get done. Gotta get my dailies in, you know? Daily grind. My chores done. Hope everyone's having a good holiday. I don't remember the holidays giving me this much stress, but today's been the stress, like anxiety more than anything. Like just all the family and people getting along and getting everything done. Blame the weather. Maybe, you know, 21 months. It is freakishly warm. Maybe that's why, because I've been sweating all day. Stupid nighttime. No one likes you. Excuse me, game. That's a lot of line that's gone. I don't think I want those bleaks. I just wondered if you had found some new hotspot. What's up, Rock? Happy holidays. Not a flowfish harvest, yeah. I'm apparently going to waste my happy hour on whatever this thing is. Farm is this thing with 25 Christmas bucks. Ooh, I fell asleep on the floor on my arm and it's killing me. They bumped the graphics up on this? The newer lakes might have slight improvements. This is in Brand New Lake. Merry Fishmas. Yeah, I agree. When I can kill a night on a fish, I'm happy. Where are you fishing, Tommy? I saw you were complaining. The tightest, dude. Gotta have hot, tight lines. So, Chad, I really hate to admit this, but I want to play My Summer Car. Staying for the 67 months. And we be jazzing over the 5 gift subs. And I have no idea how I hadn't heard of it. Or maybe I did. Is it just getting more popular again all of a sudden? Thank you, Rock, for the 10 gift subs. Is that why I'm seeing? Is it like finished or something? Coming out of early access or something? Or a big update? But I watched a tiny bit of it. And I wish I wouldn't have. Because it just looks ridiculously goofy. I thought maybe I could dual box this with leave the old bottom rods in and work on the car. My Summer Car, which I thought was just a game about building a car, but you can like die and go to jail and piss on people. Thank you, Iron. I appreciate it. I've only been on for 7 minutes, Mr. D. Not even. Oh, it's already like Christmas is ending over there, eh? Ben drunk. Oh, shit. I wasn't paying attention. You know what? This calls for the old lead weight. Merry fish, Miss Vidar. Many a hog. Oh my god, my mustache is too long. It's catching all of my drink. Many a hog for all of you. Oh, come on, you fucker. Who did it? Oh, wait, that's just old. Smoking a brisket for Christmas dinner. I'm doing New York strips. My brothers and his wife are here and they're vegetarians, so they're doing some vegetarian thing for them, and I'm doing steaks for me and my other brother and my daughter. A surf and turf planned? Nice. Because honestly, fuck the traditional like holiday meats. They suck. I'd rather have the deer meats. Hello, friend. A pork loin roast. Oh. Is that what I'm supposed to do with my pork loin I got out of my pig? I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, we just passed midnight. This fucking fish, though. It's coming for you. Ordered your ham to your door. So they found good pork. Yeah, I did a lot of my, since it was a pig I raised, I did a lot of it more medium than I would store-bought pork. And honestly, we exaggerate foodborne illness a lot, I think, in this world. People are more afraid of undercooked chicken than coronavirus. Sadie, you're thank for the 54 months. Raw pork with onions twice a month. That's intense. Mainly because I hate onions. Like, I'd eat the raw pork. If I had the option to eat a raw pork chop or a whole onion, I'd eat an entire raw pork chop gladly. Absolutely. Yeah, we're running this fucking line tight. I think this might be a sturgeon. I don't know though. Yeah, please join our Russian fishing chat. We would love to have you. This fish is heavy enough that when the boat, you can notice when the boat rocks down, it pulls a little line out. See? Little line? Little line? Maybe it's a cat? I mean, if it's a zander or a salmon, or a Ladoga salmon, I feel like I just got a really good start. I mean, I'd take the Bleak's Wizard. I can't promise I'm going to use them. I did use some yesterday. Found some okay fish with them. Was catching some Ladoga salmon on them. Not many, though, like 3. Password is rich ham with a capital H, just like the emote. Jenkins, Merry Christmas. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Yeah, join the fishing guild. One of us. Nah, see, this one's moving. The reel's spinning there. When the metal ring is spinning around, line is coming in. When the center of the reel is spinning and making that clicking noise, fish is stealing line. So I just have a lead weight set on my reel button and I'm not doing anything. I'm working hard over here. I mean, it was good silver, just not worth the time and the destruction of his reel. The fish is right the fuck there, man. I had this lure in the water for like 10 seconds. What do you think of that friction break, Jasky? Is it worth the money? I mean, you landed a 40 kilo fish. You would have a 40 kilo. sturgeon at that. So, I mean, it's definitely a lot of power. But you haven't noticed it on like the salmon and stuff being significant. This yellow line is so weird. Oh, you didn't? A German sturgeon? The teak, I think, for the 74 months. I have not hooked a sturgeon in real life. Yeah, tuba sweet. Love it there. I heard the asp have been harder to find, but Merry Christmas, y'all. Okay, there's like no line left. Wacky was a lot of fun out there for the Sitchels and Black Spine and stuff like that. I don't know what it is. I can't see it. It was a Ladoga. Personal maximum experience points. Yeah, that was 140,000 experience. Oh, I have my lead weight set on my button still. Is that a nice one? I don't know what those, if those are worth a damn. They're smaller though overall, right? So probably better a Ladoga than a Baltic. I actually found a spot out here that does pretty well throughout the night for other fish. I don't travel much in this lake. Is that number 3 for the weekly in US? I'm assuming US, not global. That was more experience than a 48 kilo. I'm on a happy hour. I don't know. I'm assuming that is what did it. It was 69,000 experience. So technically it wasn't more than this was my biggest fish before. No. It was actually only a 69,000 experience fish. Happy hour just pushed it double. Thank you. Have a good night, Mr. Deke. Huh. This lure has proved interesting so far. I like the variety. Oh yeah, it's even a region record. Silly no Americans playing this game. Tally, thank you very much for the 10 gift subs. I saw someone ask earlier, the fishing chat is just Richard Hammer I think Richard underscore Hammer, yeah. And then the emote Rich Ham, so capital H in ham. Everything else lowercase. Feel free to join. The game is free, in case people didn't realize. Somehow there's always a guy like once a week who's like, what? This new lake is gorgeous, yeah. Any tips for a new player? It's a hard one, man. It's been a long time since I've been a new player. Don't focus too hard on the grind. Enjoy the fishing a bit. I think too many people get caught up in the silver per hour and trying to maximize all of their fishing. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy the gameplay. If you want more tips about like what to do, I think everyone's first goal in Russian fishing should be a bottom rod. At least one, most likely two, of the bottom rod starting kits, the feeder starting kits. Just lets you get more lines in the water. More lines, more fish, less downtime. More fun, all that shit, right? Time to sink into it? Yeah. It is a time sink. That's for sure. Terribly hilarious idea. I hope I can set the fish to presence or whatever. I still don't understand how that shit's gonna work tomorrow, but I'll be here at some point. My brother and his girlfriend are staying for a few more days, so I don't think I'll be able to be on a ton. I don't have that snatcher that everyone's been doing well with. Maybe I'll try one of these other snatchers. Those are definitely hooks that are too big. Constantly running hooks that are too large. Yo, thank you for the $5, pharmacist. Merry Crimbus 2000. Oh, I bought this X minnow, huh? I didn't know I even bought that. The thing was expensive. There's some big hogs on there. Look at all those fucking fish. Holy shit. A dumb question, but can you put a ton of line on a reel and sink lures real deep to the bottom of the 40-50 deep zone for floor fish? So my line has like 300 meters of line on it already to begin with, just normally. Look at the size of that spool. It's a lot of line on there. And yeah, you can let things sink. Definitely. That's part of what I'm doing with my walking back and forth bullshit sometimes, is trying to get a lure to sink while I'm still moving. Man, that was so many fish we drove over and we didn't hook up into a single one of them. Feels bad. Egg dough to level harvest. I mean, I hate it, but that's what a lot of people do. I would just level harvesting more naturally for a long time. You really don't need to rush it. Man, this line is destroyed. Also, this whole setup doesn't make sense. I'll break that rod. That was a setup for a different pole. Yeah, that's the thing. What I mean about doing it more naturally, right? Make the amount of baits you think you're going to use at first, and as you're leveling up, before you just go, I'm going to make 25,000 egg dough. I think at some point you'll get there where you're like, I need to just grind out some levels, but until you understand what you're like grinding for, that you're certain that I need this desperately, you're just wasting money that you could be putting into leveling instead. This 9-centimeter lure has 2 aught hooks on it, huh? I might be out of 2 aughts. I want that big fucking honk around the bottom there. Get him with the wacky worm. And then there are things you're going to get to a point where you can cut up fish. And like, that's just something you can continue to do throughout your fishing naturally anyway, because those fish aren't worth anything. Later in the game, there's so many 500 gram plus fish to cut up that aren't worth anything but pennies. Is there a way to reset your progress? Yeah, I don't think so. You can reset your skill points. Fish got away. From what? Where? Must have been the wacky worm. Something bit it for a quick second there. I really don't use the cut bait like at all. There's just nothing I think it's affect like better than a nightcrawler at. I know that it has more records, but I don't do a lot of AFK fishing. I like to fish. I like to be here, be active. And nightcrawlers are a much better active bait than... I need to get a smaller leader for this rod, or I'll snap this thing. And I'm not wearing a Santa hat. Yeah, I don't really do the whole dress up thing. I'm sorry. Disappointment. Even the once you get to like squishing fish and cut bait, I just keep it in my keep net. I just wait until the next time I log on, the next happy hour I log on, and then squish it all when the fishing's slow, like at night. It is out of stock everywhere, yeah. I went and jumped around a little bit to try to find it out of curiosity. Man, there's a ton of fish there. Oh, I got some perch to squitch. Squitch them. Yeah, cafe orders as well. I was shocked how many people don't recognize the cafes there. Cafe orders at early levels can really turn a bunch of shitty perch into $10 instead of 10 silver, or 10 cents, I mean. I still turn those in at my level. I keep forgetting what I was trying to do because I get distracted. Common leader, what do I got? I don't really have one, God, man, there is just hog after hog on my fish finder. You think hardcore? I just don't think you're gonna hit that many of them without jigging. Flopped. Thank you for, or Floppled. Thank you for the 32 months. I bet they don't hardcore. It's literally out at every single town. I'm pretty sure people are just jumping to get it. Change this leader, I guess. The blue one that's got like a whole bunch of records in the last few days. They should bite worms? Yeah, they will, I'm sure, but I don't know. I've never caught one on a bottom run. That's not true. I caught them on bottom runs with baitfish quite a bit. Hell yeah, you have it? Fuck you. Man, that was a whole really dead troll. This rod just hasn't hit shit. Heavy hardcore? I didn't tell you stick a ton. But makes sense. Pretty meh for you. Yeah, this is the worst I've done in a long time. To make that pass without a single Xander even. Yesterday was like all Xander for me. What's up, Noel? This has really been my focus area, like these 8 blocks have done the best for me. I don't know if you can get off the islands in the big boat. I should check that. You cannot in the little red boat. I could not find a single island except the camp island that I could get on. Everyone gets a free happy hour from now until January 11th. Cool. That's generous. I'm premium anyway, so. That may start tomorrow, Noel, with the Christmas stuff starting at 4 a.m. or whatever. What the fuck? Yeah, 3 fish. And they're not good fish? It's 2 happy hours. What? I need to farm up some bait fish. I don't know how 2 would work. Do you like one end and you start another? How did that even... Or is it 2 hours? Ichi, thank you for the 20 months. Oh, is it 2 hours? Okay. That makes sense. That's cool, though. Yeah, they didn't do that last time I did a Christmas event. Else to the rescue thing was 3 months. Yeah, Happy 2 Hour really doesn't roll off the tongue. I need that mod list shiver word from Weddy so I can start my summer car adventure. And happy holidays, brother. Happy 2 Hours does sound like a bad mafia name. Polly Walnuts and Happy 2 Hours. Thank you, Calthegro. I don't think he sent it to me yet, but it was Christmas for him. So I, you know. He didn't tweet at me. Let me double check. No, yeah, he just said last night ended in an amazing shit show. It looks like a fucking mess, Jasky. Wait until I play some, thank you. It looks ridiculous. Watch it with the spoilers, y'all. Shiver warp. Oh wait, that was, you said beer, not a bear. I thought I read that as he downed a bear, and I was kind of mad at you for him saying he killed a bear. I was like, God damn it, Shiver! Why would you tell me this? A bit meany now. Was it ever not? It seems like it always was. Don't know how to describe it. There was like so many bad things happening to Weddy last night that like at one point his how do I get everything resolved list became incredibly tedious sounding, but just the sheer fact that so much could still go wrong during that made it interesting to find out. Sometimes you piss and die. That's the title of my autobiography. I tried it last night, Raptors, and tried drifting with it. Tried setting it in a deep hole. I spent like 300 silver fucking off with a bait fish on the bottom. Good luck, friend. You did a 202.5 meter cast last night. How the fuck did you do that? What performance enhancing drugs did you take? I really want to go back to my wacky worm as soon as I take it out of the water because I see all those fish on the bottom. Is Twitch freaking out? If people think fish actually moved, I'd be curious to try bottom fishing with bait fish again. Did you have a good holiday, Jesse? Your Christmas is like almost over, right? Did you get some good socks and sweaters? I feel like you're the kind of guy that gets a sweater. Did you get a sweater? You did get socks. No sweater, though? Nah, damn. It is summer. Probably not. Sweaters probably aren't as common for Christmas in New Zealand, huh? Since it's fucking scorching. Was it? Here too. Well, it's gonna be 55 tomorrow. Which isn't, New Zealand Christmas hot, but it is freakish hot for Michigan. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. Buy yourself Girl Scout cookies. Yes, and thank you to everyone who bought Girl Scout cookies for my daughter. She's very happy. I will make sure to get her to record some thank yous. She just got back late tonight. Hi, Abu. It's snowing in Oregon and in Portland? Yeah, it's coming for sure. We've had Christmases this warm in the past, or close to this warm. Maybe not quite this high, but we usually don't get our real cold weather till January. Three months until fishing starts. Can't wait. Counting down the days, baby. The new wacky worms. I want to try some big ones and see if they did any changes there. Thank you for the fishing subsidy, Calisty girl. We wouldn't be able to survive without those. And for making Brandland's life more difficult with YouTube uploads. I mean, if it's snowing in Oregon, that means we'll have it in a few days. Barrier Islands. The dash should have like some lights or something. It needs a rear view mirror so I can look at the fish finder and know my rods are going off. Alien from the chat, thank you. down here. What do you mean? We're like on the same east-west or north-south. Wacky worms in general are just saddening? You're a fool. You can't dispute stats, my friends. Wacky rig. Look at it. Look at it. Nasty worm 009. The only thing that compares? A fly and an aggressor. Oh look, there's Nasty Worm 008 too. The nastiest worm. I think it's a great third rod solution. Yay, a perch. Messing up the fish records for me. Smelt the bleaks. Yeah, I went really ham on the bleaks, dude. They were bonkers. I was catching like 80 an hour. I went through 800 flies in 3 days or something like that. Fly went from like not existing on my list to #1 bait. It is a lot of flies. A lot of fly traps. Wish I could set out fly traps. I forgot I bought some fish soup. Can't wait to get hungry and eat that. I'm about to retire this lure. This lure had been my true powerhouse, but it is just not doing well. How can a food be OP, Jasky? Please explain. Does it give me stats? Secret fish stats? It needs a spice overpowering. Ah. They really went overboard with the paprika. Lemon pepper. Make you cry. Just too damn fishy. The problem with the food that like gives you a ton of hunger regen is I never like to get that hungry. I like to keep myself close to full. Yeah, I haven't cooked in forever. I just eat carrots and make Tommy mad, and then he gives me cucumbers. It's a good strategy. I don't have anything for that big fish at 2 meters. I tried running that 1 meter lure that whole time, though. You Calistigo. Does she have any sort of bonus for going way over her goal? So she gets a patch for achieving your goal. And then she continues to get rewards beyond that. So there's rewards up to 5,000 cookies. If she sells 5,000 boxes of cookies, she gets everything. Which is like a kayak, a Nintendo Switch, and a whole bunch of nonsense she doesn't need. The kayak would be tight, though. I'd use it. But that includes selling cookies like at the booths and stuff like that. Which we haven't even started yet. I got in trouble actually. I started selling cookies a day early, but it's because I saw somebody else from our troop posted cookies, and I was like, bitch, you ain't gonna post before me. It's very Christmas energy. Dude, you see what I brought my brother? It's just fishing stuff I'm gonna use. It's a very fishy Christmas for me and my brother. I restocked all my tackle for the year as Christmas gifts to myself, so made it feel like I wasn't wasting money on fishing stuff. Had to have stuff for my stocking. I think they moved my fish. I'm upset. I wonder where I hit that Ladoga. Right in here somewhere. I don't think I was even into the deep water. Might go back after him. I don't wanna dance again. Oh my god, it's almost dark again already? Yeah, we had a really shitty day. Holy crap. 7 fish? 6 fish, because one of those came at night. Ouch. 6 fish in 30 minutes. I need to move. Or give up on that old lure. It hasn't hit shit. So the fish finder gets all broken when you're going fast. It makes it look like there's 9 million fish when there's not. The thickest school ever. Get the nets. Tiny fish. A nice baby perch for me. Can't see it yet. Is it a perch? No. I have released quite a few fish, I guess, too. Was it sneaky? I wasn't having any luck in the 13 meter. I was the last few days, but today I haven't. I hit outside it, not in it. That had been my go-to spot. I don't have the hot snatcher though, and it's not available anywhere right now. Hey, a Xander. They do exist still. Does the fish finder go off again for a fish? So a fish finder is just sonar, IRL, and you gotta. The game is definitely trying to replicate it IRL the best that it can. The blue snatcher is the hot one, which has been one that hasn't really been used elsewhere. So it's pinging and receiving, right? So if you parked over a fish and the fish sat there, you'd continue to see that fish come through. But the way it displays, oh, is a little confusing. As you notice, the fish finder is always moving at the same speed, no matter what speed the boat is going. And that makes it really hard to judge where the fish is. Under or directly behind you and off to the sides of you, because the sonar is in a cone. That's what a lot of people fail to understand about fish finders too, is it's a 2D image of a cone. And if you notice, the bottom number will get smaller or bigger based on the depth you're at. Small when you're at low depth, and it's because it's shrinking the screen, because the cone is shrinking when you get shallower, right? How far out the cone goes gets smaller just by the way sonar waves work. And then when you get deeper, the screen actually gets wider, like the scale of the screen gets wider. So reading a fish finder in real life is incredibly difficult to get good at. So what it does is it plots a fish, and then that creates a fish on the screen, right? And then that fish is going to tick across the screen at the same speed it always does, regardless of how fast you're going or how big the screen is, how big the cone is. So it can be very complicated to really know where that fucking fish is. And that fish could be way over there, or right here, or right there, or way over there, or off my fucking hook. Okay. Wasn't shift reeling or anything there. Does the game actually simulate? No. The game spawns fish. So what I'm assuming, the way I'm assuming it works, Tally, is there are spawn locations, and what the fish finder is pinging is a spawn location. No, I love the questions. It gives me something to say. The worst part about streaming this game is I run out of things to say besides like, come on, fish. If people aren't talking, I got nothing to say. Anyway, so yeah. I believe what the fish finder is doing is saying that's a fish spawn point, that's a fish spawn point, that's a fish spawn point. Not certain, but the way fish works for sure on every other lake is fish spawn in based on your lure presentation, whatever. It's interesting to think about how many fish may spawn in, like if you're jig stepping, for example, and fuck up your jig step. You don't know if there was a fish following it that decided to back the fuck off at the last second because you did something wrong. Because you can't see it. There isn't an underwater camera like an arcade fishing game, so. Never understood fish finders. Yeah, and the sensitivity is a big thing too. Like, fish finders will, because it's just sonar, it'll ping off fucking all kinds of shit that isn't fish, and it can be really hard to determine what's a fish and what's just interference in the water, and it really is a skill. There are some really fancy new ones, specifically these live scope ones, these 360 ones that actually do a live feed instead of, like I said, this pinged a fish, so it put a fish on the right side of the. Right, it pinged a fish on the sonar, so it just placed a fish at the depth it's at on this screen, and then that fish is going to just travel across the screen at that depth, no matter how fast you're going, or if or not the fish left. It's going to continue to stay on the screen, in real life anyway. But with these new live scopes, that fish, it's actually live updating with a really fast ping, so the fish will actually disappear or move off the screen, which is crazy. Trophy Sitchel? Ooh. On a wacky worm? Tell me it was on a wacky worm. Can read a fish finder like it's nothing and still don't understand? Yeah, I think a lot of it is understanding a fish finder to your boat too, you know, really getting how it's functioning with your boat, knowing your speeds that you're trolling and traveling and stuff like that. Christmas spinner, damn. Because even that one, a lot of people don't realize you have to like set up your fish finder for the depth of your boat and all kinds of stuff. And a lot of people don't do that right from the get-go and don't understand why their depths are off. And they moved away from the coast. Fish are smarter than you. If you're fishing from shore flopped, the biggest, or floppled, I'm going to keep fucking that up. I think the biggest issue is shore fishing when the weather is nice sucks for the most part. We don't have, with freshwater fishing, we don't have the transitions of water temperature with the tide, right? So our water that's shallow gets hot and stays warm and pushes out fish for the most part. Good fish. Anything you want to catch is getting pushed out to deeper water. And the only time it's traveling into shallow water in the summertime is to feed, and even then, yeah. Do kayak fishing? Well, if you're on a boat, then yeah, that's on you. I will say it is very difficult to be a consistent shore fisherman, but if you have a boat, once you learn what you're after, fish are pretty patterned like any other animal. It's the whole idea that, you know, fishing is a game of patience and blah blah. That's just bullshit. That's just shit bad fishermen say to you. It's just not true. There'll be days where fishing's tough and where you make all the wrong assumptions of what the fish are doing. And there are some things going on in the water that are different, or that are almost undetectable. Things like thermocline and they could have sprayed for weeds and all kinds of things that can affect how fish react. But for the most part, you should be able to go out and find fish every time you go fishing if you take the time to learn the species you're after. Fishing in the dark? Fishing in the dark is great. You can do all kinds of fishing in the dark. Darker lures seem to work better in lakes inland. It depends on where you're at, Trekketh. I live in Michigan, where most of our lakes are spring-fed or water table lakes, and our water is incredibly clear. So we do really good with shiny and light lures because we don't need that. The darker the water, you want to use more darker contrast lures. And the majority of the states, yeah, you're gonna have muddy water, and you're gonna want that contrast. Is Moon 2 out? Oh yeah, Moon 2. Moon 1. Moon 2. Dark, yep. You would have better luck, Tracker. That's pretty much fishing science, and it has to do with darker lures silhouette better against the sky and stuff like that. Even at night, the best color for night fishing is black. purple's popular too. A lot of walleye fishermen will fish purple at night. But I don't believe fish vision is so good that they're truly identifying purple from black underwater at night. I guess if there was a fish with the vision to do it, it's probably a walleye, because they got like Riddick eyes. They actually like shine. They traded 2 packs of cigarettes and whatever for getting an eye shine. I understood that reference. Did anyone play that game? It was like a prequel to Pitch Black. It was about his stay in jail when he got his eye shine and shit like that. Escape from Butcher Bay? Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's pretty old. I feel like I played it when I was a teenager. It was a good movie game, you know what I mean? There were very few of those in that day. Because it kind of filled in some storyline gaps that you didn't get from the movies. Unlike... Oh, that was way too much food. Unlike a lot of movie video games or TV video games where it just was the exact same fucking story, but you got to play it. I loved that... the start of those movies, the Riddick movies. And then they just went awful. Yeah, Xander, you're going to want to target these colors. You know, your whatever. I guess there's technically 6 shades of fucking blue on this map, but I see 3, maybe 4. So you're gonna avoid these 2 colors on the most maps and go for these 2 colors when targeting Xander. That doesn't mean you won't catch them here, and obviously it's gonna change a little bit map to map. This is a 9-meter hole here, where this would be this color on Winding, right? 9 meters on Winding is dark blue, or whatever you want to call that color. But yeah, Xander, same with like Burbot, Bream, you're gonna tend to find them in these 2 deeper colors. And I think a lot of fish tell you that stuff too. Like if no one's on and you're curious, I think you can actually look at about the species a little bit. Somewhere. Not there. That's how I learned to catch quite a few of the fish. No, maybe not until you catch it. It definitely gives you a good description once you catch one. Yeah, I thought there was a way before you caught one. Sturgeon down there, or a catfish. Gimme. And the same goes with real life though. There will always be exceptions to like where fish should be and that shit. It just is part of what makes fishing so good in this game and in real life. I really love it in this game because so many sims, fishing sims, if you aren't doing it right, you just don't catch fish. But man, you can catch trophy fish with a completely off-the-wall technique method. I remember my first blue tag, which is the rarest trophy you can get, I was the only one using that bait for that species that week. And then I watched it all week, and nobody else caught one on that same bait of that kind of size. So like, you can just get lucky. I love that. That's fishing, man. What's your lure today out here, hardcore? I need to move. I always want to get to a spot by a certain time of night, but then you forget how long it fucking takes to get places. Green snatcher, 2.5 balsa, 3.5 meter balsa. I haven't tried the 3.5 yet. The 2.5 wasn't doing anything for me yesterday. Oh, dude, I have no idea how long on this map. Every map is a different size. I have no idea. This map is massive, dude. And just came out a few days ago, so. It's also incredibly expensive to rent the boat. Like 100 silver an hour. So you like feel like you have to fish pretty consistently or you're gonna miss out. Not just miss out, but lose money. The black nasty stick has done me the most whitefish. Oh God. You better turn there, Richard. The jointed minnows? Yeah, I saw a couple of those on the records the first day. Fun, Jasky? Tell me that was a wacky worm. No pulling drag. Yeah, those are such a weird fight when they do that. So meterless on a lure, the depth at which it trolls. Yes. So they, if you look at them, not all lures have it. Like these will just run at whatever speed you reel them, right? And based on their weight. Same with these. But these lures that list the depth, it's this lip on the front. See, it actually catches water and is designed to pull the lure down. In real life, in order to reach that optimal depth, it's based on how much line you have out too. More or less line will affect the depth as well as the lip. But yeah, the bigger the lip, the deeper she dives, right? That's 8 meter deep. NLD. And super effective stuff when you know the depth you're fishing at, right? Which is what most of us use fish finders for, is really about charting the bottom a bit, getting our depths right, knowing where there's going to be holes and drop-offs and things like that so that we can try to fish accordingly. Yeah, people kept saying the pond out here, Brop, and I was so confused what they were talking about, but they just mean the 9 meter spot between all the islands. But yeah, they kept calling this the pond. It's not a pond. Paper Knight, thank you for the 64 months. Right, Lacker? It's not a fucking pond. Yeah, most fishing stuff is going to be lipless, and you're going to just determine how fast it goes based on your retrieval, which gets into the weight of the lure, the speed you're reeling. Your reel will have its own individual gear ratio to determine its speed, the spool size of your reel, as well as the gear ratio. Tiny fish on that? I think there is. If not, it might just be dragging on the bottom. No? Huh. Oops. I ate too many cookies today and my stomach is mad at me. Wacky does get a lot of whitefish. Congrats, slime. Floral line on telesticks. If you can afford it, it's expensive for what it's worth. But yeah, straight floral on telesticks is the best option. Do you guys just use heavy mono for your catfish rigs? Are any of the big boys on? Like, Noel, do you do catfish rig? Because I got like that one rod that could do it, but there's no floral line that big. You're not catfisher? Okay, I can never remember. I don't think I've caught a single fucking salmon. This has just been awful for me. You use 84 kg braided. Just straight braid, no, and then a mono leader, or? I think I would just use 77 kilo mono because it would fit my rig better. And noodling and how ridiculous it is. It's also not real. Like, it's 7 hillbillies in Oklahoma. Yeah, that's why I mean I would just use straight braid or straight mono instead of straight braid personally, but I don't think it would matter, just for my own fishing satisfaction. Noodling is my trigger word. I'm very heated and passionate about this subject. We're doing double happy hours right now, Lacquered, for premium. She did almost hit her goal. Actually, I think she did hit her goal. If once Devolver gave me money directly to buy cookies. And again, thanks to everyone who helped buy cookies or donated so she could buy cookies. We're gonna take a bunch of cookies to the local Women's shelter, I think, is the plan, but we have a lot of cookies, so we might end up finding another target as well. You can absolutely Shiver. I get so angry. It's so frustrating. That stupid fucking TV show that was on the air for like one season. Dust Mask, I think it was 23 months. Merry Christmas, Bean. Thickness is irrelevant on Telestick. It has no impact. The only reason thickness matters is because it wraps around the reel, right? Telestick has nothing to wrap around. You're just attaching a length of line. Just if it scare the fish. So fluoro is invisible though, which is why the thickness, like if we could, we'd all run fluoro as our line in general. The reason, like for, again, this is all based on real life, right? So fluoro is expensive and thick. But the real reason we don't run it in IRL isn't the thickness as much as it is the cost. So we make liters out of fluoro because then we're only using, 16 to 36 inches at a time. But like, I don't know how much this was. Let me see. I've got 25 yards, 22 meters of 100-pound fluoro here. And I think it was $44. So imagine if I wanted to spool up a reel with 150 yards of that, that'd be a lot of fucking money. Had bad luck with thick fluoro leader. So yes, that I don't agree with in this game, but yeah, it's a thing in this game they say is real. I don't know that I believe it too much, but because fluoro should be clear pretty much regardless of its size. Which is another reason we don't fish it too. Even in smaller sizes where it's cheap, it's so invisible that it can be really hard to track your line and how your bait is moving and stuff like that. The progression of engineering related fishing, dude, it is interesting. There haven't been a ton of changes, but I think all of it though, even farming and stuff, especially something that's that old. The big corn changeover blows my mind. We went from planting corn in rows to now just planting corn packed super tight. Like quadrupled the yield of corn in a cornfield. After we planted corn that way for like 200 years in rows. But weird to think that no kids will ever get to like play in between the rows of corn and get cut by corn ears. Or corn leaves, not the ears, the leaves. The farm across from you still plants in rows. They must be poor. Because that was the big issue with getting it, was transferring over all your equipment. Because they had to do a whole changeover equipment to plant it that way instead of planting it in rows. But the efficiency of rows is shit in comparison. So they're probably a pretty small farm. Or maybe Amish. No, even the Amish down in Indiana were planting without using rows now. Like 20, yeah. A smaller farm, so just using the equipment he has, yeah. But all that, no more of that equipment will be made, for sure. Everyone will be transitioned to now. A part of it is I think we've just gotten better with turning over the soil. Like we know now a lot more about keeping the soil healthy by planting other plants and planting in cycles. Is it a strand thing too? Then I hadn't heard that. That's interesting. Even more interesting. It makes sense though. You went to college for it actually? And I'm not sure, because we do feed corn, like, exclusively up here. Presents aren't out yet, Lacker. And I know the feed corn guys bitch about it a bit because feed corn needs to dry, and it doesn't dry nearly as fast, so they used to be able to go out and just take down the whole field, harvest the whole field at once, but now they actually have to, like, harvest in sections. They harvest like the outside edge and then wait a few days or a week and then harvest the next inside edge and just keep going around in circles, taking it down week after week. Thank you, Gold Skis. Alice just got back tonight, but I'll make sure she gets some thank yous out there. She's very thrilled with her progress. She's going to get all kinds of badges. And we're going to help our shitty, poor towns Girl Scout troop too, you know. We're doing more than Alice needs, but as someone who was a scout in this town that couldn't afford to do camp and things like that, you know, if we can go the extra mile, make sure all her friends get to go to camp and stuff, it's awesome. She's excited to help out and teach her about becoming a good capitalist. You're all wheat barley. I figured it didn't start until the Christmas thing started, yeah. I just look at the little bobber picture thing anyway. We're being closer to a cult. I mean, I've been trying to convince you all to join my cult. It'll be fun. It did turn out to be crap. There's a specific corn that can cause wheat to think it's getting pollinated, but then it just drops the corn pollen because it can't actually use it. What good is that? Well, I've been live now, or I've been fishing now over an hour, so did I get happy hour on my last fish? This is the worst fucking fishing. I've got to move. They can then make it seed with only its own DNA. Okay, okay. I don't know enough about pollination. I had some people in my life try to explain it to me with growing weed, but did not follow. plant cum landing on plant eggs. Yeah, I get that. What is that? Oh, it's a tiny Ladoga. No, I'll leave it out there. It did catch me a fish. A third to make it happen? Oh, that's too much work. I didn't pay attention again with my premium, but everyone's saying it is already live, so I'll trust. I don't know where else to go, though. Guess I could try back down here. Guess I could just zoom off somewhere. How much is left on my boat ticket? I cannot stay up very late tonight. I will have a child awake at 7 o'clock in the morning. Very excited to share all of her presents, what she got in all of her presents with me. My house is also loaded. I got fucking people sleeping on an air mattress in the dining room. Both my brothers are here, and they're ladies, and my mom and my daughter, and my dad's gonna be here. Damn, this drippy dick is letting me down. Oh, there we go. Just had to complain about the drippy dick, and it triples up. I read that as a bottle of taxes and got really confused what you were drinking. What kind of size hook do you think presents like? I think it just depends on the size of the present. You going for hogs? Is it literally just fish randomly with a telestick and sometimes get a present? Is that all it is? So we can like target something else, like we can find a bleak spot or something and... I mean, I'm here for it. I need to level my float fishing anyway. And I like bleaks. You have to do it on the dock. Oh, is there a specific spot you have to stand? That's kind of annoying. Yeah, that's what I heard. They gave out like 9 Vengas last year. There's a spot. Alright. I will not be doing it that much, I'm sure then. Is it like active? Are you fishing 3 tellies? What are we doing here? Are they heavy? Should I be prepared? Do you get bonus experience for an ultralight? Do they even give experience? What leader? So many questions. Gotta multi-rod it. What the fuck else am I gonna do? Just watch one rod and wait for presents? Fuck that shit. I'll die. Why'd you do one rod? Was it that active? Oh. Now I'm confused what you're trying to say to me. Don't be so confusing. Oh, is it that active? Oh, if it's that active, that'll be different, I guess. Do you get skill or anything for it, or no? Or are you just sitting there slamming presents for hours on end? You can get them for free at the Cottage Pond code. Okay, so you are catching fish and hoping it's a present. All right. There are dumbbells that can break. Can they get off? Can you get fish got away? Or can you just run the cheapest shit hooks to counter that? I hope my rods lift too. I don't. One of mine's an ultralight. I'm gonna run baby shit gear and dirt cheap hooks. Yeah, I'm just gonna load up on hooks that cost peanuts. Thought that had a tiny fish on it. I was wrong. What the fuck? Will those hooks run out then? The tiny cheap ones? Maybe. Might want to grab some now. Well, my fishing is picked up, so that's good. I'm gonna throw this wacky out there and see if I can catch the end of that fish train. No fish train for Richard. Now leaving the Drippy Dick. It's even got 2 little nuts in there. Look at. Why would you buy $90 fluoro? Lunatic? A kettlebell. Glad I have that in my inventory forever now. put in a backpack or thrown away. It doesn't say how much it weighs. I'm upset. That's funny though. Come on, decent sized whitefish. And not a tiny lake trout. Yeah, I bought a little bit of the holiday line. It's super thick though. But it's dirt cheap. And decent sizes. Oh, it's a perch. This probably is too then. We drove through a school of them. Oh, no. What is that, an hide? Gross. Gross. Oh, it's a hog down there. I was having decent luck with jigs yesterday. I should try that again. Doing my wacky technique with jigs. I think the Zomboid update is live now at Shiverwarp. We should consider that again in the future. I think it's too soon to go back, but Gloomhaven? I feel like I have peeked at it once, but I will again. Nice, Andy. I want another one of those Ladoga sturgeon. Apparently it's very replayable in co-op. I love those two things. I might actually go throw at that from shore once my boat ticket expires for a little bit. Shit. Just such a big lake, dude. There's so much water to cover. As much as I've trolled around in here, I definitely haven't ever come down towards this island or into these shallows here by this island. I mean, it sounds like there's not that many kettlebells you're going to catch, and when you do catch them, they're just there to troll you and lose a hook. Just make sure you're not going to break your telly. Just lose a hook. That's telly fishing anyway. Oh anytime you're telefishing, you're risking losing your hook. Unless you got the fucking telesticks hardcore does. Nope, wrong one. Oh, that was all the fish I had to cut? Sad. I wish it fucking didn't start at 4 a.m. tonight. Because that's like right about the time I need to go to bed. I mean, I would just get free telesticks, as I've been saying, but it ends the 11th. You got plenty of time to do it, but I certainly want to put my grinding hours in. I want a free Venga. Be one of the 9 people in the entire population to get a Venga. Then I'd just be done with reels, honestly. I'd be satisfied. Wouldn't need another one ever. I could get into buying weird shit like high-end telesticks and stuff. I don't know what else is in the presents, no, besides the Venga. I have no idea what we'll be fishing for. It is a unique color, yeah. Which I don't care at all about that, but... You don't want to know? You want the excitement? Yeah, don't tell me, chat. And maybe there'll be different presents. Maybe there'll be something new. Hope it's fish soup. Just tons and tons of fish soup. Maybe a boat? Yeah, there could be a boat in a box underwater. Would I eat fish soup I fish out of a lake? I mean, I eat fish I fish out of a lake. Why not? My ticket's gotta be about to expire, right? Oh no, still 9 hours. Best type of line for feeder fishing. Early stuff, Nyrat, don't worry too much. The way line works is fluoro is going to be the hardest to see. It's the most invisible line, but it's the thickest diameter, which is why we use it for just leaders and not. We don't frequently use it for the full spool. Braid will be the thinnest line, so you can put the most on your spool, which is best early. It's best all game, honestly. But when you don't want to get fish to run away with all your line, having more helps. And then the middle of the road is mono, which is medium thickness, medium visibility. So basically, braided line with fluoro leaders 9 out of 10 times is what you're going to be using. If you need leaders, ask chat. We'll gladly give them to you. We have plenty of extra material to make them. The reels will also list line capacity based on a certain size. So like this is 340 millimeters at 0.45 millimeters. So 0.45 millimeters, it'll take 350 of this 500 meters, or 341, whatever. And that means obviously smaller will take more and bigger will take less. Merry Christmas, Nug. Everyone says leader on telly is kind of funky, but I don't know. I use them if I'm fishing deep. You can't really use them when you're trying to fish shallow because the leader adds to the immediate depth of the bobber. If you have a 60 centimeter leader on a bobber, you can't fish any closer to the surface than like 79 centimeters or 77 centimeters or something. A bunch of people were trying to tell me leaders make setting the hook on bobber way less reliable. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think I made any money on this boat ticket this time around. Tommy, shame. Come here, smelt. Smelty in here. I like that. I can't have long left in my happy hour here. Actually, I can check that, can I? Yeah, not long. Let's squish those smelt. Let's squish those smelts. It's a really weird Nickelodeon show. But I haven't had too much trouble. Are you stopping your boat? I haven't been stopping my boat as much to land fish as I was on like Corey and stuff. I think stopping your boat is definitely safer. Haven't stopped, haven't shift reeled. Yeah. I shift reel. Always. Now that I just hook set and shift reel always know. Spidey, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Smelt me, baby. No real need to stop the boat. I mean, I hard disagree with you, but. Oh, that smell was too big. And I think that that statement in general is just silly to say. have you lost a fish null signal? Thank you, Lunar. Merry Christmas. You don't have you lost a fish though? That's the point, right? Like, you can't say it has no impact. And I think Yama's a really good example of like high fish loss. Everybody seems to suffer from a high fish loss at Yama, and it's because of the current. And I think the same applies to trolling and speed. You're gonna have same with shift reeling, right? We're aware that all these things go into the potential effect of fish loss. I think there's a million factors that go into fish loss, but they all are there. Do you think current affects losing fish null? Well, turning your boat in this boat stops your boat, so. Yeah, while you're turning, it stops your boat. It's very awkward. Thank you, Calastigro. Dragging up a fish in a cliff on a cliff face in the water loses you fish. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of things that affect it. As your hook, I agree that I think hook is bigger factor. What about lifting the rod? Shame hardcore. Like right click lifting. Can't say you've ever lost fish while lifting the rod. Do you just do it while you're fishing? Or do you only do it at the end? I really feel like there's two scenarios where I lose the most fish. Incredibly high tension stuff where I try to force anything at a high tension, and no tension. Those are the two that are, for me, like for sure 100% affect fish loss. Like, and I think that's where you lose a lot with the current and the salmonoids, because the salmonoids do that thing where they just stop. And if you're pulling all the way into it, the boat's moving away from it. I think it just causes the fish to pop more often than anything outside of zero slack. Or, yeah, slack. Not zero slack, but slack. And it should be a bigger factor. The amount of fish we fight at, like, we should let fish run a little. Like, I mean, it's the number one factor IRL in fishing, right? Is that you have your drag turned up too high for the fish you're fighting. You don't let the fish fight. So it just pulls itself off the hook. Like right now what I'm doing right here with a really small fish, my drag turned up really high. This should be the number one cause of lost fish. Fucking 1 gram too big. And it is in real life. It's the real reason we have drag in the first place. Does this game have regulations? Yeah, you can only use 3 rods. That's about it. Well, aren't you a butthead? No noodling. Yep. Apparently boats can only have 2 rod holders. That seems to be a regulation. Do you hook set, Noel? More on the topic of... Again, I think that's all like personal preference, and I've definitely seen a decrease. You do hook set. I've definitely seen a decrease in fish loss since I started hook setting, for me personally. Hook set aggressively, as in more than once, or what? What do you mean by aggressively? Though I also lose fish hook setting, interestingly. Small fish. I lose a lot of small fish hook setting. You click 4 or 5 times. Well, that's dumb. I hate stuff like that because it doesn't make any sense. All you'd be doing is tearing a big ass hole in that fish's face so your hook could fall out. What is hook setting? This. Setting the hook. A lot of the times fish will just pick up your bait and they won't attack it aggressively, so they don't get hooked. And then when you feel them grab your baits in real life, you slam on the rod to set the hook into the top side, whatever part of their mouth you end up pulling it up into. Ah, that was the wrong button. Y'all some weird sickos. Well, the other thing you could just do there, Gallagher, is just turn really fast too, right? I mean, turning clearly works as a hook set as well. Tension works as a hook set in this game, which is why hook setting wasn't a thing for me for the first 15,000 fish I caught. I never set the hook once. Because in order for a fish to do this to your rod, it has been hooked. But yeah, floats, you do it by turning a lot. Especially if you're in a hurry, if you're late picking up your rod. Because it lifts so fucking slow with floats. Telly specifically, I should say. Bolo has... Is that a big-ass perch? It looks redonkulous. It's decent. Not redonkulous, but decent. Gotta have some bottom rods with that jigging to keep it interesting. Was I .031 off blue tag? Oh, I didn't realize I was that close. That's twice I've been super close to a blue tag perch. I wonder if that'll be an ultralight. Oh no, it won't be an ultralight weekly. It would just be for the lake. It's a water body global record for ultralight though. weekly record, ultralight, water body record, and water body global record, ultralight. That was a lot of records. .7. Okay, yeah, that one wasn't as close then. That was a 0.3 off, not 0.03. Nice records, yeah. Too bad it's just a perch. It won't stick or anything. Won't get me any bucks. I'd assume. I'd assume that there's a much bigger ultralight perch from another lake. Oh, wait. Yeah, much bigger. Not even on the list for overall. Oldberg, of all places. You found the culprit? I once fished for a while with a one-hooked lure, Tommy, and kept losing fish and not understanding why. Was there perch in lake? What the fuck's lake perch? We have a pike lake near us that has no pike in it. I assume it did once. I wish there was another size on the fish finder. Just like a stupid big fish. Just to get you excited. That's all. Just so you could get a big... The fuck is that? Instead of just like the one size for big. To make the balsa stuff. No. Hardcore made a bunch of it for us though, Tommy. He was being generous. Alright, headed back to the dock. You don't level off that, Tommy. I'm pretty sure like all the leveling comes off like Xander Spoon. Yeah, that's the bitch. The knife to make it. I think I'm close, but I didn't want to buy the knife. I can make unpainted wobbler. I don't know what that is. Ah yes, the boat is expiring. 42C. That seems real hot. I don't know temperatures well, but that seems hot. Yeah, it was like 50 degrees here today. Tell me we're in the southern hemisphere. You guys got snow shiver? You should be all snowy by now, right? Winter Wonderland and whatnot. Yeah, quite a bit. Alright. I'm gonna stay off the boat for a minute. I don't think Wizard sent me those bleaks he said he was going to, prick. A good amount, yeah. Okay, yeah, that fish soup does just, like, give you all your food, huh? Ooh, 550-gram perch. 594-gram smell. I ain't got any of this shit. A giant burbot. Strong, but I just don't need that. I never am that hungry. Who lets themselves get that hungry? I did horrible. Oh, wow. That Ladoga Surgeon was worth $150. Well, I guess that saved my day. But that's my worst 5-hour boat ticket. I fucked off on islands, or trying to get on islands and shit, but... I think I only made like 200 silver. Yeah, and it was a lot easier to catch the lizard. I'm gonna see if I can't catch some more of them. From shore would all certainly get smoked. I don't know if there is anybody catching them on any ground bait or any bait yet, or if it's just all on lures. Yeah, all on lures. Someday I need to repair that Sagara. Actually, wait, I'll leave that one alone. God, my brain, dude, it's so stupid. I hate it. It's big dumb. quiet bay. Hey, RDS. Oh wait, Minnie. That's who we're saying hi to. Don't steal my bobber while I'm filling my vape. Or if you do, give me time to react. Thanks. Is that getting bit? Might have been. It's hard to tell out here with waves. Alright, can't do that. Too impatient. I want to do something else anyway. It is dark as fuck on this lake. I don't know why. I guess because no light pollution? I don't know. We'll look this way. Let's try a spoon first. Out of curiosity. Yeah, that's a very beautiful rod. No moon. And I think the moon goes really fast, but it doesn't produce a ton of light. That is a hog. And moon 2 doesn't stay up long enough to help moon 1 out. It's actually early morning. Sun's coming. Did not catch fish. Am failure. I don't expect to be wildly successful, but a huge minnow? That fucker's huge. Yeah. Happy holidays. Yeah, my kid will be up in like 4 hours, ready to roll. It's alright, just going to her mom's in the afternoon so I can sneak in a nap. Damn, 2 Rippus records in a row there. I'm sure there's already some posted spots for that shit. I haven't even looked. Yeah, Santa did make his way. It was very funny. We were doing the little app thing. And Santa just like made a beeline for my area, and Alice freaked out and made everyone go to bed. Which was nice for me. I got to go to work. I did, yeah, I've had my Overlord. It seems good. I'm satisfied with it. I don't feel like I did a great job this Christmas, but it's also her birthday in 2 days. And I'm kind of just giving her everything today and gonna take her out shopping for her birthday, I think. We're throwing a party for her friends from school, so that's something too. Old dad guilt is hitting. Didn't do enough. Ooh, nice prop. Let's try a tiny fish. Holy shit, those are huge. 22 centimeters, huh? I don't know that I've ever had any luck with a monster shad. What's this? Express Fishing Super Minnow. Oh, that's a big boy. There are actually a breed of fish that's a minnow shiverwarp and the babies, both get called minnows. Technically, a baby fish is a fry, but there is actually minnows. Like the common minnow is a fish. Merry Christmas, Bad Juju. I think it might be raining here too. Maybe not. I gotta drive down to Ohio a couple days, take my brothers and his wife down there for their family, or her family. I want this jig step. Maybe it wants 3 cranks. Maybe I need to go slower because there's no current. I'm used to jig stepping in current now. Unsuccessful. Rubber fish. We've had a couple, but not a lot in Alice's lifetime. I'm cool with it. Fuck snow. Can't believe nothing's eating my little bait fishes either. Didn't get cold until December. Yeah, we've had a lot of warm spells, a lot of warm ups. But the weather's been crazy windy and stuff too with all the storms that blew through from the west. Definitely came over and warmed us up. I really want to go to Yama and try the new topwater bait because it just looks like you'll be able to cast it 1,000,000 miles, which is exciting. Snow on Halloween, yeah. We usually get like our first one end of October and it doesn't stick around or anything, but like the weather letting you know winter is coming. Huh. What do the weekly records look like over there, Jenkins? Is it the same shit? Hypnotic spoons and top water? Texas would actually kill you. I think you'd adjust eventually, but it'd be hell for a while for me too. My brother and his wife just moved to Fresno, which is hot, miserable hell, and they're already not used to the cold. Same stuff, yeah, I figured. It is not being, you got an hour, 45 minutes. Oh, that sucks, Vinny. Put coho in your chum hole? Well, that's nice of him. Well, this clearly ain't it. Yeah, I'm gonna need a new computer soon, man. I don't know how I'm gonna fucking swing that. F. Damn, they really did fill it with coho, huh, Jenkins? Yeah, that's been a pretty popular trend right now because the GPU's hard to get. You don't pay that much extra for pre-built anymore, not like you used to. Unless you're gonna like bargain shop and wait for sales, you're not gonna save that much building your own. Alright. I gotta be up to open presents with my daughter, but I wanted to do a little short Christmas stream. I'll be back tomorrow for a regular, hopefully full cast. I don't know what we're gonna play, but I'll be on. Thank you for everything you do for me. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate or don't, you know. Have a good day, either way. May this day be good for you. I love you. Thank you for everyone who bought Girl Scout cookies. If you wanted to buy them, there's a post on my Twitter. Alice is thrilled. She's going to reach her goal. And then some, probably, it looks like. Much love.